All right, Khary, thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I love your background. I mean, you're all in with roofing.
Oh, I definitely have been doing this for 30 years. I started roofing a week out of high school, but my very first job, as a young person, was at a paper route, delivering papers on my bike. But my first adult kind of job was I was an usher for the Milwaukee Brewers. And like have you seen the Halloween movies with Michael Myers?
Yes.
So I had to wear like a Michael Myers style jumpsuit and like a sailor hat. It was so goony and weird. It was awkward. But then, as I got older, I was a scholarship athlete coming out of high school, going into college. And my new coach took my dad and I around the campus. And this is back in 1996, where the internet wasn't a big thing yet. So the job postings were on a postcard back then. And so in this case, it was on a postcard behind this plexiglass case. And I'm not kidding. It literally said, "Do you want to get high legally?" And it had that phrase and a phone number. I don't even think the company name was on there. And I was like, this has got to be the world's dumbest drug dealer or the best marketer ever. And I called, and my roofing career took off from there.
You had some, you know, funny looking ad that you responded to, and that's what got you in.
Sure did. And it was life changing, right? If I had not thought that job posting was funny, I'm 18, 19 years old. Like I don't know. I just called it. I think it was probably because I thought it was a joke. Yeah, and it was for roofing, and it changed my life.
So walk me through your first roles. Like, what did you learn? What was it like?
I started out as the grunt. I was the guy getting coffee and donuts, and the one they play the tricks on, like go find the felt stretcher. There is no such thing. Well, I probably shouldn't say that now because no one's gonna fall for the joke anymore. I had to learn roofing from literally the ground up, and within a very short amount of time, I became part owner of that company, and I learned roofing from every aspect. I've been the grunt, I've been the accountant, I've been the installer, and I've been the president. I've been everything in between, and it has given me a well-rounded approach to understanding how a roofing company functions because I've done literally every job there is to do within it.
What part of it came naturally? Maybe, your background, your temperament, and what stuff did you really have to grind and work at?
Actually, all of it I had to grind and work at because when you start so young, there was no real experience to compare it to other than having worked for the Brewers and being an usher to help people find their seats. Roofing is its own animal. I mean, you're not risking your life when you are being an usher, right? Compared to roofing, where not only you're risking your life, but the work we do makes it so that either a homeowner's house is dried in or a hospital where a doctor's delivering babies are able to do their job, or the mayor of the city of Milwaukee is able to do his job because my roof is functioning. You can't just have something teach you that. It's an experience you have to grow from within to learn how to really do those kinds of things and really appreciate what roofing truly means. Because if you really think about it, people don't really grow up and say, I want to be a roofer, right? No one does. When you're looking at first and second graders and they're talking about what they want to be, it'll be, I want to be a fireman or a lawyer or a doctor. Some say, I want to be a teacher or something like that. No one says, I want to be a roofer. You typically fall into it. You're getting into the trade because you don't want to go to college, or maybe you did, you just are better with your hands, or you have a family member or friend that's doing it. You just kind of get into it that way. I mean, I got into it and I have a degree. Like I literally love roofing. I love everything it brings to the table because without our roofs working, the people inside those buildings can't do their job.
And you mentioned about, sort of, I guess you hinted on the safety aspect of it. That's a big one.
Oh, absolutely, right? Because we are risking our lives every time we get on a roof, and it could be a flat roof or a steep roof. It doesn't matter. People, unfortunately, get hurt. They fall or they die because they don't follow the right safety procedures. We are committed to making sure that our people return home in the same condition they came to us in that day. I don't want to get a call from someone's partner, their spouse, their kid, and have to break the news to them. that their loved one has been hurt or even worse while in our care. I want to make sure we provide a very safe environment. So that's to make sure like the human side is addressed. But when you look at this from a pure business perspective, if my people are constantly getting hurt, we can't make money. We make money together. The more money they make, the more money the company will make. If they're getting hurt, they're not making money. They're not making money for themselves, for us, or their families. So it hurts everybody involved if you don't have a truly safe environment to work in.
So, as being someone that's, likes to stay on top of things, what are the things that are, sort of changing, or new technologies that are happening in the roofing industry that you are most interested in right now?
So I do like how companies are constantly evolving with whether it's the widths or the lengths of the roll of the roll goods they're providing, or the seaming technology that they're using, or the seaming equipment with the heat welders. Those are constantly improving and evolving, or just the overall way that the roofing systems are being approached now. I think is fundamentally different than the way they were done back when I started in the 90s. In the 90s, you didn't have TPO. It wasn't a thing. You might have had like Hypalon or something like that, but you didn't have TPO the way that it is now. So to see how the market has shifted away from really like a built-up perspective. Back in the 50s and 60s, you had a lot of hot tar, even some mod bits and things like that. But now you're seeing more of the TPO. You still get a lot of EPDM, but there are various agencies that are trying to move towards a more of a green approach to roofing, and that's the other thing. The introduction of green roofing into the roofing assembly, where your manufacturers are now beginning to cover that overburden, where you can have a roof garden essentially on your roof that has a wide ranging impact on the improvement of our environment, right? So you're having less heat absorption with the white membrane versus the black membrane. You're having water control when you have plants and growth media on the roof and things like that. So I think that to see the evolution of our industry is amazing to watch and to be a part of.
And you have many more years in the industry, but when it's all said and done, what do you want people to say about you?
That I left this industry in a better place than when I came to it, and that's already happening. Whether I am just an observer or a participant in it, just to see where we were back in '96 versus where we are now, to really see what that evolution has been like, and to see how great, like how much more advanced we are with roofing, and how serious people take it now. Again, it's not like just a throwaway thing it might have been back in the 50s and 60s. It's not just putting several plies of hot tar together. There's a science and a method to do that now, compared to back then, where they may have had a more of a traditional way of looking at things now, but now it's more scientific, and I can truly appreciate. And I just hope by the time I'm ready to retire, we can look back and say roofing is in a much better place now than it ever has been.
For someone that's just starting out, that sees what you've done throughout your career and says, I want to do something like that, what advice do you have for them?
Well, I would say, to me, I learn differently than most people do. So I like to be hands-on. I mean, I have worked in every facet of roofing, and I think that to me is the best way to learn, so you can appreciate what the person who might be sweeping up your shop might be going through. So when you are a person that's in control of the pricing of the product or the service you're selling, you have to understand what that shop maintenance guy might be going through, or what it's like to bang out a square of shingles, or what it's like to have to stand next to the kettle when you're doing hot tar, or what it's like to have a Leister gun in your hand. I think you really need to have a working understanding and appreciation of what that's like. So even if like it's a scenario where you're getting involved in a family member's company, get out into the field and spend a day with the techs, or help them put the ladder up. Understand what the safety requirements are, or understand the reasoning behind why safety is so important, because some estimators may not even figure in the safety requirements, or having the lanyards, or the roof raptors, or all kinds of things. Once you get out there and get your hands into it, you get a much greater appreciation of why these things are very important. I think that's the truest and most honest way of learning how to do this.